I don't cry when it rains no more, or I get dirt on my shoes. I don't mind climbing 8 more floors, 'cause these stairs are all heading to you. I don't wait for tomorrow's sunshine when I feel it today. But when it's cold in the dead of winter, remember that snow melts away. One more cold drink, one more road, one more dance before the doors get closed. Please remember, enjoy the show. Let's get happy before we get old. We don't need plans or a fancy agenda. Well, let's just see where it goes. We got no care for the way people stare at the dust and the dirt on our clothes. Hey, my friend, we'll never say.
Hey, everybody, come on into the Cajun cooking experience. This is Spuddy, and man, we've got a good one tonight. I love okra in my gumbo. So I'm going to have 2 pots going tonight. I'm going to be busy tonight. So in this pot right here, we're going to be smothering okra down. On the other side, we're going to be making the gumbo. Hey, Mildred, hello, Rocky Wagger's back. And this pot here is where we're going to start with our roux and all. But the okra, a lot of history to this okra, but this is the original gumbo, the original gumbo. And I love to put okra in my gumbo. When I was serving in public, you couldn't do it. You had to have separate gumbos. This today is going to be the Spud Man gumbo. What you say, Lucy? So now we're going to get ready to get started. First thing I'm going to do over here, this is where I'm going to smother my okra. I could have smothered this evening, but I want everybody to see exactly what we're going to do, because I'm going to do it where I kind of build a little stock in here to bring it to my gumbo, fry some meats down, to bring it to my gumbo, give me a little better flavor on my gumbo. So right here, we're going to start off with some onions, of course. But what we're going to do is we're just going to start frying these onions so that we can start building a little stock, and I'm going to bring some meats in once this gets hot. On this side, in this corner, we're going to start making our roux. Now, where you at, Hollywood? Now, what I've done, I haven't put a lot of oil. I only have half a cup of oil in here. Because remember, okra is your thickener. There's ways to thicken gumbo. Number 1 was okra. That was the number 1 thickener. The number 2 thickener was filet. And I have some filet here. We may even try a little bit of that. Rocky, Lucy said, hello, Dale. All right, then we're going to start working on this roux right here. Like I said, we don't need as much roux because that okra is going to act as our thickener now. All right. So now we want to just work on all thickness. I'm going to bring this fire down a little bit because this roux is rolling already. What do you say? Cool. Come on over, brother. Now we're just going to keep this roux moving. You can see we don't have a lot. And keep this, and look, you'll see me switching these spoons back and forth. I can do that. You know why? It's all going to be the same anything. What you cook up with them onions, that's going to be the okra. And I'm going to leave that scroll down a little longer because it's not interfering with the pot. So when people come on, they can see what we're cooking. So we want to get this roux, a nice dark brown roux. Now, some people, they love to go ahead and make it real dark. I'm not into the real dark roux. Just doesn't sit well with my system. But if that's what you like, man, knock your lights out. There's nothing wrong with that. Because as you get towards West Louisiana, they cook it with those dark roux. Where you at, Leonard? Oh, Sherman, what's happening? Where you at, Bones? Yeah, I don't think there's anybody here that doesn't love gumbo. And you know, there's so many different kinds of gumbo and the history of gumbo. It's like, where did it come from? Well, how did it start? How all these different kinds of gumbo that actually what was invented? How did they get invented? And gumbo really, it started off as this right here, okra. It started off as okra, King Gumbo. That came from Africa. So it's believed that on the transatlantic slave ships, the okra seed came over here, and this is where okra was introduced to Louisiana. The original dish was an okra-based stew. Hey, Annie. So there's a lot of history to this okra now. I mean, to this gumbo. So this right here would have been spelled Gombo, gumbo. And since I don't have a lot of roux going on, I got to be careful because it'll burn real easy. Now I'm going to throw me some andouille, and I'm going to throw some sausage in here. I want to go ahead and get that fried down because I found that if you could take and fry down at least half of your andouille and sausage that you're going to put in your gumbo, it's going to make a better gumbo. It has a unique flavor profile. And what I love, I could just use the same spoon, go back and forth. Now we're getting into a blonde roux. This is our blonde roux stage. This is where you start that white roux we had. If you like, let's say biscuits and white gravy, that would have been that white roux. Now you get into the blonde roux. This would be like your etouffees and stuff. This is what kind of roux you would have. Now remember this. The lighter the roux, the more it thickens. So the darker the roux, you need more roux to actually thicken. Hey, Terry, I can almost smell it from here. Oh, hell yeah. You can almost smell it. Man, I didn't smell it. I'm going home smelling like roux tonight. I used to love cooking the roux in my kitchen because everybody came in, they'd walk back in my kitchen and go, man, you're making the roux, huh? Nah, just a new deodorant I'm trying. What do you think? I'm making a damn roux. So we're going to keep working this. And also, I'm going to hit it with a little stock. That's going to help build us a little gravy. Boy, you can see in here, you see nothing but a little brown gravy starting in here. And gravy already starts sticking at the bottom. Okay. Now, roux coming along pretty good. I got a good consistency. And the way everybody wants to know, so what's the measurement? I used a half a cup of oil. So probably you use 3/4 of a cup of flour if you wanted the measurement. Hollywood, you can always come taste, brother, anytime. Because you the man. All right, we're taking our time on our roux. Now, because I put a little water in here, I'm not going to keep coming back with that same spoon because something will start popping in here. So this gumbo that we cook, we don't realize it. It's actually like a cultural melting pot. All of our cultures that we know out here, and this is what makes our gumbo so unique, is that we bring all these cultures together in our gumbo. We have gumbo like nobody else. You have the okra, that's your African. Then you have your roux, that's your French. You also have your filet. That would have been your Native Americans. That would have been like your Choctaws. The filet was used, that's the old sassafras tree. They were pulverized. And in case this is real filet. This is hard to get right now. This bottle is probably about 5 years old. Okay, got to get back to my roux now. Hey, Crystal. All right. Now we're getting into that dark golden brown. Made some gumbo for my coworkers here in Alabama, and they absolutely loved it. Nothing beats andouille. Oh, hell no. Especially when you got the good andouille, the best. Spud man andouille. Damn, I didn't see you yesterday, Hollywood. I was there. All right. All right, this is moving along really well. And because in this black iron pot, I have to stay on top of it. Keep adjusting my fire. Because once this pot gets hot, it's hot. And it's not letting up. So you better stay with it. I have my roux a little bit tight, but that's okay. All right. And man, I can smell. Let me tell you what's good about this pot right here. That sausage is starting to fry down. That's what's making this pot really good. Oh. But then, you know, you bring in some more culture into this. You had the sausage and Andouille. That was our German heritage. Then you had the rice. That was the West Indies. Wild game. That was your Cajun influence. Like, Cajuns learned to live on the land. So they had a lot of wild game. Then you had seafood gumbo. Anybody that lived near water. And I really believe seafood gumbo, when you got out of wintertime, you did boucherie in the winter, you had your pork, you had your andouille, you had your smoked meats. But without refrigeration, you get to the summer, you had none of that. You basically had to wait for the winter. So then you can catch fisheries all year long. They can shrimp, they can fish, they can catch all kind of stuff to make them an andouille. And your wild game, hell, that was year round if you know what I mean. All right, hey, go on. What'd you say, Leonard? Eating some of your sausage right now. Tell him, Leonard, that's the best. You can white rice or jasmine rice. I always use jasmine, Hollywood. Always. Okay, I'm getting this nice color. I'm getting this beautiful brown color. A little bit more. It won't take me long. When you're cooking a little small roux like this, it doesn't take long. Now, when you go back and read in old newspapers, people, like, we make big old pots of gumbo. People didn't make huge pots of gumbo. They made enough to eat for that day. Remember, no refrigeration. But gumbo was a way to put all these cultures together and feed a lot of people. And what did you put in it? Whatever you had. Some people, you know, they might have put, you read old recipes and you'll see they put ham in it. They put beef in it. And they even have some, not out here, but you get in other areas, yes, they did put tomatoes in it. You'll see the recipes in newspapers like that. That's more in the 17 and 18, well, more like the 1800s. They don't have any recipes really out there in the 1700s for gumbo. And the ones that's putting tomatoes in it, it's either going to be a Creole style like in New Orleans, or it's not going to be from here. It's not going to be from this area for sure. Now, let's take wrong clicker. Let's go ahead and take a look in the pot. You can see the roux how it's coming along. Really good color in that roux. And then let's go ahead in the other pot. This one takes a little time to get down on. That camera's a little slow. Okay, there you go. You can see how this is browning really, really good. All right. Okay. Now, we have a really nice brown color in this roux right now. So it's just about ready. Got that good chocolate color. This is what you're looking for when you're making a gumbo. Everybody that comes through my Cajun cooking experience, first thing they're going to say, yeah, I made a roux. And then they got tired stirring about 3 shades of white earlier. Okay, we got some good color. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring those onions in. You want to let those onions cook in this roux. Get those sugars out of them onions. Come on, old bad boy. Get out of there. Okay. Onions, when you put the onions in, it's doing 2 things. It's bringing the sugars out, and it's also, let me get us back out to the top. It's also not only getting the sugars out, but it's slowing this cooking process down. What do you say, Cage? No onion left behind. Hell no, brother. Hey, Ricky. Old hen makes pretty good gumbo. Actually, old hen makes the best gumbo. My mama, you know, hens, just going to the store try to find a hen, really hard to find right now. But man, it takes forever to cook them, and that's why they're so good. Hey, Vicky. Okay. Now we just want to cook this down. And remember, I said we was going to have some more meatball gumbo. This is the rest of it. So I want some. So what I try to do is I try to fry some of it down. That'll give me one flavor. Well, yeah, Timmy. And then in another pot, I like to boil some, let some cook with my roux and all. And it kind of gives you This one, it just two different flavors, and when they come together, to me, it just makes a better gumbo. I'm gonna go ahead and bring that celery in while I'm at it. And them old shallot tops, shallot bottoms. Let all this start cooking down in here. Now, boy, let me see if I can get in this pot. It's gonna take a little, give me a little second in the pot. You're gonna see look at that gravy building in here. This is gonna give us a great flavor with our gumbo. You see I got that little starch, that little green meat down here? Oh, hell yeah. That's what's gonna give us the flavor. Then you can look at here and you can see this cooking down. I need to kick this fire up now. We got to get serious with this pot now. We want this to fry down a little while. This right here is ready to make a great, great po' boy. Fantastic. But look at the colors in this pot going into that gumbo. Man, we got number colors going in here. What you say, Harvest? You know it, brother. It's smelling good. Okay. Oh, this over here is unbelievable. Got you some good brown onions in there with some good fried andouille and sausage. Make you one hell of a po' boy right now. Now the French, they had a different andouille, and it was called Andouille. And Andouille was actually made with intestines and offals, things like the tripe and the chitlin. Okay, throw some of that French bread and call it night. Boy, you got that right, sir. Man, put that on some French bread, eat it, do a little dance, and tell y'all good night. Now, give it a little taste of that. Dog beer. But this, it had a strong, intense aroma. Basically, the best way to describe it, they said, it smelled like barnyard. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. This is a picture of it. You see the innards of the hog in there. You can see the intestines. You'll see like maybe the stomach, the whatever they felt like, I guess whatever they felt like using. They said it tastes better than it smells. That's all I can tell you. Compared to what we use. You see, theirs is not smoke. So it's a totally different andouille that they're making. What's up, Bam? What's happening, my brother? Made a gumbo Monday in Houston. Man, you make it in Houston, it's got to be good. Middletown pickles needed with the gumbo broth. I don't see why not. Okay. Now we got some good stuff going on. I'm going to go ahead and bring my bell peppers in before I bring my stock in. Randy, bro. Oh, yeah, that French bread ready, brother. That French bread is ready, brother. Now we take a peek down, looking down in that pot. What you at, Buggy Lamont? Boy, look at the colors in that pot. Lord. And I'm going to stop the banner now. Old friend Peanut, looking down, waiting for smoke, cool in that pot. Boy, you know that's right, brother. My buddy, Buggy Lamont. Buggy, you cooking in the gumbo contest in a couple weeks? And I'm going to talk some more about that. Where you at, Ronnie? This is the 20-quart pot. Okay, I've got this fried down pretty good. Hey, Kevin. What's up, cuz? Now it's time to bring that stock in. And I'll tell you all about my stock in a little while. Got some chicken and beef in here. Oh, yes, indeed. We already got a good color. Oh, Kurt, what's happening? And I got all my old partners on tonight. So if you ever go over to France, you got to get you some andouille. Let me know how it tastes. I don't know if I want any. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some more stock in here first. Ooh. We'll take a second. Let's go down in that number, no, in that pot here. It's coming. Just hang tight. All right. Look at the gravy in here. This is what's going to kick that okra and give it a hell of a flavor. Takes a little time. It takes a little time. That's why I want to show y'all, if you're going to cook and make an okra gumbo, take your time with it. Don't just smother some okra and throw it in. Take your time and smother you some on the side. Now, once it gets out of season, you may have to just smother you some okra and put it in the freezer. And that's okay. But take your time and make you a good okra. Now, a lot of people say, well, what about the slime? I'm sure the hell not going to put tomato in here. A lot of times I do, I put tomato in gumbo to get rid of the slime. Ain't no tomatoes going in here because that means it goes in my gumbo. I have one or two choices. I can ride with the slime, which is not all bad because that slime is part of the thickening, or I could throw a little hot sauce in, and that's going to help it. So I'll throw a little hot sauce in, and I'm okay with that. But I'm not putting any tomato here to try to kill it. And another thing you can do if you want it, you can add your couple tablespoons of vinegar in here. A couple tablespoons of vinegar, and you will get rid of that slime if that slime is bothering you. It really doesn't bother me. All right. Now we just need this to get the ball. Once, let's say, Ricky, that's starting to look right. Oh, brother, this is looking right. Let me tell you. You think it's looking right? You ought to be smelling this stuff. All right. Now that okra's starting to smother down. And look, I buy the IQF frozen okra because I don't have any, okra, it's not okra season. Okra season's finished. I don't have any in the freezer, but I find these bags that I get from, and I get these, all mine I get from Cisco. They really, and I've gotten them from other vendors, and I've picked them up like at Sam's and stuff. They really do smother well. I've never had trouble with the okra. Now, the only thing is, when they cut an okra, everything goes in. Both ends. It doesn't matter. They don't throw anything away. I just learned to go ahead and roll with it. Hell, it ain't kill nobody. So we got this magic sausage Andouille. Where does that word come from? Well, it's a German sausage with a French name. But the word Andouille arrives from the French, and it's, man, look, I'm hoping I'm saying this right. It's called Andouille, Andoille, and that's derived from Latin, and it's called inducer, which refers to leading, meaning to lead in, referring to the stuffing and the filling and the casing. So everything, all our language, everything goes back to Latin. So I found that was interesting where the word andouille comes from. But it is a French word. But it also, there's an informal meaning for it. Informal meaning is dummy or stupid. So somebody tell you, hey man, you look kind of looking like andouille today. That means you're looking stupid. Or you're looking dumb. But that was an informal meaning of it in French. And you go back and read an old newspaper, 1700s, 1600s, you actually can see that. And also there was a racehorse, I want to say it's in the 1600s, that was called Andouille, good racehorse. And there was also way back in the 1600s in France, a diocese of Andouille. I don't know if that's what happened because they sent all the dumb people out. I don't know. Oh, Kent, what's happening? Ricky, this thing is getting right, brother. Now, when this thing starts boiling, one thing you got to remember with the roux, you have to let it boil about 15 minutes. Now, I mean boil. I don't mean just a little bloop. Now, you don't have to boil it out the pot. And what that does is go break down those enzymes and starches in the flour. And so if you ever eat somebody's gumbo and it tastes like little pieces of sand, that means they didn't boil it out enough. And it can easily happen if you're in a rush. Take your time. If you're going to make a gumbo from scratch, let this thing boil. And as it boils too, it's going to thicken, it's going to reduce. That's going to make a big difference. Now, how much do you like on doing ground fine, coarse, or hand chopped? Fine carries lots of seasoning. Ricky, if it's ground fine, in my book, it's not andouille, it's sausage. It's because if you're going to grind it, then I can make that andouille or anything you want to call it with anything I want. So if you go back and look, I've done a lot of research in this. I've gone pick up packs of andouille, packs of sausage in the supermarkets. I have pictures of them. And what it is, they have the same ingredients, except they'll throw like maybe a little extra hot sauce, a little pepper in it, and they'll call it Cajun andouille. And maybe they'll put a little smoke, a little liquid smoke in or something, call it some Cajun andouille. They'll do something a little bit different. Maybe add another herb or spice. It's garbage. My book. Our German style andouille, chopped in pieces about the big like your thumb. When you pack that in the case, and when you mix that chopped meat, and you're gonna mix it, it's gonna get sticky. Just heating up from the mixing is gonna get sticky. When you pack it in that casing, it's gonna bond together. When you smoke it, it's gonna come out looking like this. The Spudman andouille. And if you look in there, we'll put it as close to the camera as I can. Go ahead and speak into the microphone. You can see it's chopped. This is going to taste like a ham. This was the purpose of andouille. It gave you that ham taste. Because, you know, out here, especially us where we're at in the German coast, you didn't have the French market to go to buy your ham because they had butcher shops all along in the French market. No, we had to make our own. And something else I made, and next week we're going to be loaded with it, talking about ham. The homemade ham, the Spudman homemade ham, the Modland. So this right here, it's actually a beef. Both of these were beef casings, and that beef casing, this is actually the appendix of the cow, and we call it a beef bone. And this is a homemade ham. You make this and you bake it. It's the best damn ham you're ever going to meet. You're ever going to eat. No injections, no artificials, just pure love and flavor. Roy, doggone it, I almost mentioned tonight. Oh, partner, I'll never miss. Oh, thank you, Dino. Boy, now look, oh man, y'all got to see inside this pot. This is the slow pot. This is the pot that takes a little time, but look, it's gonna be worth it. Come on, come on. Look. You see the gravy down there? See that gravy? This is it. This is your flavor. This is what it's all about. And we're gonna look at our little gumbo pot. And you can see we're getting a good little ball going on. This is what we want. And as you boil, you're going to reduce. And you just bring in some more stock. Because as you reduce, every time you reduce and you bring some more in, just add some more love into this pot. And it's just going to keep thickening. Now, if I didn't have okra, I would have doubled my roux. All right? So that okra, I'm counting on that okra to go ahead and thicken this gumbo for me. Oh. This okra looking good. This is really coming out good. Now, if you ever go, like this is where I get confused. You go out and read in newspapers, and you start reading about gumbo and gumbo. Make sure you're reading about the soup and not the okra. You got Gombo, it could be either one. So you have to read the article to be sure which one they're talking about. So yeah, and Gombo, if you go back in older newspapers, 40s, 50s, on before, you will see gumbo a lot. Hey, Sharon, my daughter and I love the andouille sausage for gumbo. Oh, baby, that's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Made in Vacherin, but it's made with a little St. Rose touch on, a little St. Rose loving. Got to give my hometown a little plug. Okay, and it was good seeing y'all, Sean. Really enjoyed the visit. Well, y'all know I got to taste this. Man, look at this, the color in this pot. Lord. Now, one thing, you buy a lot of andouille, especially when you go commercial andouille. There's still a lot of preservatives, additives, soy fillers, names this long you can't pronounce. That scares the hell out of me. The one right here, this andouille right here, salt and pepper. Little bit nitrite in it, so that it doesn't give you botulism. It doesn't spoil. But besides that, salt and pepper and smoke. Oh, simple, clean, and like Sharon said, you're going to love it. You're going to be in love with it. It's going to be some good stuff. Because you know I wouldn't let you down. I wouldn't put my name on it. All right. I want to let this okra get pretty soft in this pot. I want my okra cooked pretty well before I bring it into the gumbo. So this is going to take a little time to get this okra right. And once it gets in that gumbo, it's going to have to boil a little while to start thickening this gumbo. And one of the things I found amazing, it wasn't until the 1800s you actually started seeing articles about gumbo. So I don't know if they weren't making it before then, or it just wasn't popular, or it just wasn't written about. But from the 1840s to the 1900s, all the recipes had any kind of meat you could think of. But the main meat, what they used mostly was chickens. When I say chicken, it's probably a hen because they're cooking this thing for hours. And when they would cook it, they would roll it in flour. They might have a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of oil, maybe 3 tablespoons. There wasn't a lot of oil. And they would roll that chicken in flour, and then they would pot fry that chicken in here, and that's what would build their gravy. And then once they made their stock, like here, they would cook this thing for hours and hours and hours. It might take, because you're doing a food with a hen, you might take up to 3 hours to cook a gumbo, because that hen don't give. And like I said, that is the only thing my mama used was a hen when she made gumbo. She didn't. She would put some regular chicken in it, but she had to have her hen. So okra's always been the primary thickener. This filet, sassafras, would have been used when okra wasn't available. And of course, the Native Americans, that was their thickener. That's what they used for all their sauces. All right, we got a good little ball going over here. Like I said, I want this to ball. Even before I bring this okra, the okra was ready. I want this ball in about 15 minutes before I even bring it in. Now, you heard me talking about the gumbo, the Festival of the Bonfires coming up. And the reason I bring this up, because on Friday, they have the gumbo cook-off for $10. Friday evening, I think it starts at 5 o'clock. For $10, they're going to have 105 gumbos that you can go taste. You can eat all you want. If you can want them eat each one twice and eat 110, knock your lights out. That is awesome. And I'm going to tell you more about that story. Jill took some okra out of the freezer for the cold front that just passed. Oh, hell yeah. I was in Lafayette a couple of weeks ago, and I was in a conference with people from all over the world. And we started talking about gumbo. Some of them came do my Cajun cooking experience. And when they do my Cajun cooking experience, they actually do the cooking. So they made the gumbo. And of course, I'm guiding them and all that. But they made the gumbo, and they just went crazy. They went back and talked about it. So when I told them about this festival, that you may have 100 gumbos, all you can eat, they went crazy. They couldn't believe it. And the good thing about doing this is that everybody, I don't care who you are, you've got a different way of making gumbo than me. This is just one way of many, many ways. Because you have family traditions, you have your heritage that's coming down, whatever. Things you learn from neighbors growing up. So that's how the gumbo is always changing. We have these cultural changes in the gumbo that where we grew up at is going to be part of our cultural gumbo. I caught a couple of rabbits with my rabbit boxes, planning on smoking them and making it gumbo. That ain't no better gumbo. And I'll give you a hint. If you're going to make a smoked rabbit gumbo with the tame rabbits, get you some fresh chuck oysters. Oyster rabbit gumbo. But brother, you can't go wrong. To me, that's the best gumbo they have. Now, one of the things I do, you notice I'm not bringing any seasoning into this gumbo. My andouille sausage, I know it has a lot of seasoning in it. Okay? So what you do is you put that seasoning in here. If you start adding salt and pepper in here, you may be overdoing it. Let this gumbo finish when you put everything in before you taste it. Oh, turkey neck. You like my roux color? Thank you, brother. Oh, man. Now, I want to taste this. I want to see how my gumbo is starting to dip in places. Yes. You know, you start going to the roux, you start going to West Louisiana, you start getting a dark roux. I mean, it's dark. It sits on me. I can't eat it. Not that it's, but you know, you're born with it. Like I said, it's your culture. That's that cultural difference between them and us. Man, this thing is slamming. Wait, I'll add the chicken and okra in this thing. Now I want to start tasting my okra. I want to see if it's ready to bring in that gumbo. And one thing about okra, every batch you have, I don't care if you're picking it, buying it, whatever it is, it's always going to act different. When you grow it, just depending what time of the year, you start getting into the fall, it starts toughening up. So you have to taste it, make sure how it's tender enough to bring it to your gumbo. You don't want to be cooking this okra all day. Mm-hmm. Oh, hell yeah. Mm-mm-mm. We're going to start bringing this okra in. I've let my gumbo boil enough. And everybody thinks it takes a long time to smother down okra. You know, they kind of make faces when you tell them you got to smother it down. They rather go buy it smothered down from somebody. Man, take your time. Put you some music on. Fix your cold beer. Get your little swing on and sit there and just smother your okra. It's all about the music and just being in your zone. That's what it's all about. Because if I wasn't here talking to y'all right now, I'd have me some music and I'd be jamming in here. Okay, now I'm going to bring a little bit liquid in here because I'm not leaving all this stuff at the bottom of this pot. This has got to come up. That flavor's got to go into the gumbo. Don't ever, it should be a law against leaving flavor in the pot. Now you can see this gumbo starting to thicken up already. Let me drop down, put that sky cam down. Oh, wrong button. You can see it. You can see this gravy, this gumbo is actually starting to thicken already. And gumbo, that gumbo, the okra, hasn't been long in the gumbo. So the okra being the original gumbo. George, what is happening, my brother? Modella dog, brother. One for me, a couple drops for the gumbo. And before I bring that over, why not get a little dip of bread in there? Okay, get that fire off. My gumbo is really starting to thicken up now. This is why we didn't bring a lot of roux in. And one thing, with the nutrition of the okra, always good to see you, my brother. With nutrition of the okra and you bring in less roux in, you're actually building a healthier gumbo. And I tell people all the time, when people come and take my class, and they want to know, or people ask me, tourists that come in, and they will say, what makes your, what's the secret of your gumbo? What makes it different? I'm going to tell you right now, gumbo's oil, flour, and water. That's it. Everybody has the same thing. It's what you put in it that's gonna make it. So if you put garbage in it, you're gonna get garbage out of it. If I'm gonna sit there and make me a gumbo, I'm gonna make the best that I can because I'm gonna eat it, and I don't feel like eating no trash. And the worst thing you can do is put your cheap sausage in it. Get the sausage that you like the best. Because you're gonna and get the andouille you like the best. But if you get an authentic German coast Cajun andouille, you're gonna have the best andouille in the world. The German coast will be St. Charles, St. John, and St. James. St. John Parish being the andouille capital of the world. St. James Parish being the bonfire capital of the world. And we're going to celebrate that. Not only need that at Spuddy andouille. Tell them, George. Not only are we going to celebrate by doing a festival on a Christmas Eve night, 7 o'clock at night, over 200 bonfires get lit at one time. The biggest in our river parishes, probably in that one night. That may be the biggest party in a one night party. It's amazing. Tell them, George. Okay, now that okra really starting to work in here. We start tasting this. Oh man, I can see this thing thickening up now. I'm getting ready to bring my chicken in a little bit. Oh man. Yes, indeed. Man, let me tell you what. You feeling bad? You got something wrong with you? Not feeling up to par? Need some of that Spud Man Okra Gumbo. This thing is kicking. Now I'm gonna go ahead and bring my chicken in. And always bring that chicken in last because if I had a hen, it'd have been balling from the beginning. But the chicken today, it won't take long before it shreds. Now, one of the things, if you're going to cook gumbo ahead, you're going to cook this gumbo ahead, and you're going to put it in the freezer. When you take it out of the freezer and you warm it up, that chicken's probably going to shred. I love that. A lot of my customers didn't like it. I got chewed out a lot because the chicken was shredded because they wanted to see whole chicken. When that chicken shreds in there, to me, has the best flavor in the world. Got a little shallot tops going in. You're gonna let all this cook together now. Now we know how. Do you use a curing salt in your andouille? How? Yes. So it's a curing salt. It's a nitrite. It's called Standard Cure. We have to put it in Board of Health, and if somebody would ever get sick on andouille and that wasn't in there, I would be strung up in the middle of town. That is to prevent botulism. And if you know botulism can live through the freezer, can live through boiling, there's no killing botulism, but it will kill you. That's why we have to put those preservatives in the andouille because of the smoking and vacuum packing process. Whoa, that's right, Harvey. Wow. All right. Now look, when you make a gumbo, and this one has a lot of meat, but don't make a wish gumbo. Don't let your partner come there and wish he had some meat in it. Put some meat. You don't have to overload it, but don't be bashful with the meat. A lot of people, they make them wish gumbos. You got to like dipping around. You have to. You need a magnifying glass to find the meat, especially when they're doing seafood. Man, they really holding that stuff back. Now, what we're going to do as we get close to the Bonfire Festival, we're going to do a red bean gumbo. That is an interesting gumbo, mostly done on the East Bank of St. James Parish. And that's all tied in with the Gumbo Festival. And they'll have that's some interesting history in that. And you think this gumbo has a lot of recipes? Man, red bean gumbo all tastes different when you're going to eat it. But it's really, really good. It's something different. And if you have some leftover red beans, it'll work with it. If you want to cook a pound of red beans to put in it, it'll work with it. But I'm going to tell you what everybody does on the East Bank, and this is because it's a tradition. Blue Runner. I'm going to be honest with you. You can't beat that's about the only thing I'm going to tell you can't beat. Blue Runner out the can is badass. Blue Runner, red beans. Had that many times for supper and didn't know it. Mama said she made them homemade. Okay. Now, time to give it a little dip taste. Mm-mm-mm. Can't let that go to waste. Now, this gumbo's gonna need a little bit of seasoning in it. I didn't season my chicken because I never know how my meat. Some people, if you have to know the meat you're putting in. Some people will season their chicken before they put it in, and that's fine. You have to do it your way. Oh, hell yeah. Now that the chicken's getting in and it's starting to cook, and I use chicken thigh meat. That thigh meat's gonna throw out some nice, good juices. Them juices, I mean, thigh meat's got the juice. You want to put breast in, that's fine. But to me, you just don't put a piece of cardboard in. But that's your prerogative. I'm not making fun of you. Yeah, I am. But at least put you some thigh meat there. It's gonna let the juices out. I like to make gumbo with meat on the bone, like a leg and a thigh on the bone, or turkey necks on the bone. You have to be careful with families, older people, and kids. You have to be really careful with that. DJ, choke meat. Got me. I'm gonna bring a little bit of seasoning in. Remember, I'm bringing a little bit in. You can't bring much. This thing will, oh, white meat, choke meat. You got that right. This thing will pick up some seasoning overnight. So be careful with this. I'm gonna add a little bit of black pepper. And a little touch of red. Look, I'm not putting much. What'd you say, Terry? Didn't add much in there. You want to slowly come up with this seasoning. Now, let's bring that parsley in. Fresh cut parsley, not the dry stuff, shaken out the bottle. And the reason I like to use the thigh meat instead of what DJ calls the choke meat or the white meat is because just because it's gonna let out those juices and it's my gumbo and I want the best in it. If I'm gonna eat chicken breast, I'm gonna eat chicken breast on the side. I'm gonna use that in my salad, whatever. But put your thigh meat in here. Where do you put your potato salad? My potato salad, I eat it in my gumbo because I don't like the mayo. But if I put it in my gumbo, it's just another fat in the gumbo and it gives it this creamy texture. And I like it. And look, if you get that question, if you take a poll, it's 50-50. Some people like it in it. Some people say, hell no, I ain't putting that potato salad in my gumbo. And some people like it on the side. This is what makes it fun. Ooh. Time to get a little taste. Now you see that chicken's getting time to cook in here. That's going to make a difference in this gumbo. Every time you add something in, it just gives another little layer of flavor. And it's putting it in at the right time and letting one thing cook before you add the other. Got this there on the side. I done seen arguments start on this. It's not that serious. Okay. See, I think 3 things you can't argue about: politics, religion, the way you want your potato salad. Ooh. Spud man got his okra gumbo. Plop right in the middle. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, my brother. Now, really, my favorite potato salad is the German potato salad. We'll make one here one night. Love me some German potato salad. Oh, I like it either way, but mostly I put it in my gumbo. There you go, Mark. Mm, mm, mm. Ooh, yeah. It could use some more. Got that sputter sway going on. Oh, hell yeah. If you ain't swinging for this, man, you got something wrong. You ain't got no groove. So tonight, I could use some more salt. No way I'm going to put it tonight. No way. I'm telling you, if you add it, you're going to be sorry tomorrow. Another little dash of black pepper. And now, I'm going to bring a little rice in. I'm going to bring in a little rice. Some people, like if I put potato salad, I'm not going to add rice. Most of the time, I'm eating my gumbo without rice. I've gotten used to that. It doesn't bother me. I just like to eat it like a soup. But either way, some people, my favorite way to eat gumbo is shredded cabbage, over shredded cabbage. Let that sit a little while. Oh. Okay. Check it out, man. Here we go. Oh, Lord. Where was this 2 days ago when it was freezing out there? Oh. You ain't got a thing if you ain't got a swing. Do-wop, do-wop. Oh. I've been waiting for my okra gumbo for a long, long time. Hardest part is waiting for it to cool down. You got it right there, right, kid. Going to see our Air Force grandson for Thanksgiving. He's asking for gumbo. Of course he'll get it. Of course he will, Vicky. He got to get it. I love cooking gumbo for people. Now I'll tell you, I served gumbo for the Veterans Day celebration at the home Friday. What I did, I had 4 different gumbos that were in the freezer, mixing them together. Don't ever throw a little bit of gumbo away. Put it in the freezer, and then when you get a few of them, you mix them all together and make your gumbo. The best gumbo you're ever going to eat when you mix multiple gumbos together. Do you put your chicken in raw? Mark, I do, yes. But I want all the juices out of that chicken. If you try to cook it down first, when you put it in after that, you just will turn the fire off. It's going to fall apart. Man, I wish y'all could taste this. Those of y'all who don't like okra, too bad. A little bit of Louisiana hot sauce in there. Keep that on the table. Now, let's say people, filet. I can add that filet to this pot right now. You got to be real careful. You're right to put your okra in your thing, so you can't put too much. But let's say I want to serve me some gumbo. What I could do, and this is what we do when I was open, I would never add filet to the gumbo while I was cooking because you never know who likes it and who doesn't. Add a little touch to your gumbo. Doesn't take much. That bottle can last me forever. And you kind of mix it in. If you put too much, you're going to come out with strings. So you have to be careful. Oh, man. Now with a little filet in it. Oh. Let's get it on. Woo-hoo. Oh, baby, let's get it on. This is, oh, man. I just kicked it up about 3 notches. And it's the real filet. Unfortunately, very hard to find these days. Oh. There you have it. Gumbo's ready. Ready to serve. Bring your company in. Bring anybody you want in. Guarantee you're going to have a lot of friends you serve them this. So remember, many ways to do it. If you want to taste multiple gumbos, not from me. I got friends with trees. There you go, brother. Okay, was just going to say that hard to find good filets these days. Wish I had a tree in my backyard. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. When I first opened my business 32 years ago, I bet you I had 10 people would come every year want to sell me filet. And nobody would buy it because everybody, they were giving it to all their friends or selling it on the street. So I couldn't sell it. Now, all those people are gone. And Hurricane Ida took out a lot of the trees. I haven't had a person come trying to sell me filet since COVID. It's been 5 years since somebody's come around. That's why I say this jar. I know this jar is 5 years old. Looking good, my friend. I'm cooking potato soup. Wow, wishing I could even smell your gumbo. Dude, you had some of this? You put that potato soup on the side. Hell yeah. So y'all, thank y'all for tuning in tonight. We'll see y'all again next week. I have no idea what I'm cooking like always, but I'll have it posted. Have any suggestions? Just shoot it to me in Messenger. And I'll go ahead and if I don't answer you, shoot it again because I'm always looking for ideas. So thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great rest of the week. God bless y'all. Love y'all, and y'all take care. I'll see who sells this, Spud. Thank you, brother.